advanced stats with insight from SAP. Take a look at what LeBron James has done during the playoffs, and yeah, pretty much leads the world in everything. And yeah, only 4th in rebounding. Unbelievable numbers by LeBron James, and it is those assists. He's got, in fact, 24 of them over the last 2 games combined of this series against the Celtics. And for more stats, go to NBA.com/stats with insights from SAP. LeBron says he's got to continue being that playmaker.
I try to do a little bit of everything to help this team win, defensively or offensively. That's always been, my goal. So, some games you're better than others, but I try to be on top of my game every game. So, it was a complete team effort, not just me, especially in Game 3 defensively.
All right, back with Isiah and Smitty getting you ready for Game 4 out in Cleveland tonight. And, LeBron James, when he goes down as one of the greatest players of all time, even though he may be the all-time leading scorer when it's all said and done, he's going to always be known for being a playmaker, and we've seen a case in point the other night. Yeah,
you're totally right, Jared. And what I love about his passing ability is that it's natural to him, Isiah. And we'll get a chance to watch how we roll through this. You said it, first in assists in the playoffs. And obviously he has the basketball in his hand, but there's guys that get the ball up to you late. I mean, for me right here, that's just a pass. He puts so much velocity on it, and he's conscious effort right now getting these guys easy shot. He had a couple left-handed passes that was fantastic, but right here, a little pressure on him. He makes the pass to Kyle Korver, puts it there soft. But what I love about him is head up, eyes up, always looking, Jared, to maybe find somebody. He does a nice job right there getting these guys some easy buckets.
Even though he is always trying to distribute, get everybody involved, is it tough for role players to figure out when to pick their spots to play along with LeBron?
Well, it shouldn't be, because if you have a guy who likes to pass, I think for me, it'll be hard for me if a guy that's dribbling a lot and not looking to pass. But I think for LeBron, it would be totally easy, because I'll be trying to push off Zeke and catch him, because he puts it right on the money. Right. Zeke knows this. Those guys when you open and they give it to you a little late over there.
Yeah, and then, that's when Vinnie Johnson used to throw it back to me really hard.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he's putting you, the pass is leading you into the score.
You think these guys are starting to figure it out because of the small sample size of games they had to play with him leading into the playoffs?
I think, and we talked about this earlier in the year after the trade was made. We said one of the most difficult things for LeBron James will be this year was to take this group halfway during the season and try to get them to this point where they are now. And the thing that we talked about was not his basketball playing ability. I wondered if he would have the energy and the stamina to really collectively make a group and bring them together as a team. That means he had to get to know each individual, as 3D pointed out. He's spending time with the Clarkson. He's talking to, the Hills and everybody, just spending time and energy using his leadership. And the leadership brings the group together. Once the group is together, now you can go out on the floor and execute a game plan. And I think that's where he's been the most effective at, in terms of leading the group, bringing the group together, and slowly getting to the point where they can execute a game plan collectively.
We're going to see, obviously, we're watching any potential lineup changes or tweaks made by Brad Stevens, but Ty Lue has essentially changed his rotation every game of the playoffs, right? A couple of games ago, Jordan Clarkson didn't get off the bench. Rodney Hood played extended time. Game 3, no Rodney Hood. Clarkson played. But now let's talk about what LeBron's doing to the Celtics, right, and how Brad Stevens is going to try and make either some adjustments or go back to what he did in games 1 and 2 with defending LeBron.
Well, I think it's going to be, Isiah talked about it, the part A to this is T. Lue has inserted Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson has played his way into the starting lineup, but I think it also has messed up the small ball for the Boston Celtics. Right. Before that, it was basically LeBron was at the 4, with Kevin Love at the 5, and that had Marcus Morris on him. Now, Isiah, you want to talk about how Jaylen Brown, which is a good defender.
But talk about how it affected Horford, in terms of the switching in the matchup with Morris.
And I think for sure I think when on that one is, you can see right now does Al Horford guard Tristan Thompson? I think that takes away from him where you got to come help, but now I have a guy that I got to go and back and box out. And I think also for him it hasn't given him much room and space on the offensive end, because Tristan's done a nice job of limiting Al's touches, and I think it's also has Marcus Morris, who his whole mindset was, I'm guarding LeBron James, and now you're guarding Kevin Love, who's a great three-point shooter. Also, he can post up, and in Al Horford, the worst thing in basketball is Isiah's connected to Tristan Thompson. He goes to help. I got to go get him off the glass. So first of all, Do I come behind Tristan Thompson, or do I come in front of him and get buried? And I think that's a long run from Marcus Morris from that three-point line down to here to protect.
So what do you do?
Well, you know, and so Smitty talked about the A of that in terms of the adjustment that Ty Lue made in terms of putting Tristan Thompson in. That forces Morris now to guard Kevin Love, puts, you know, Horford on Thompson. Now what happens is now Jaylen Brown has got to guard LeBron James. And when you have to guard LeBron James, our whole mentality as players going into a game is we always want to play against the backup. We don't ever want to play against the starter. And if those starters are going to play 40 minutes a night, how do we move them off the floor? LeBron James, being the smartest player out there, understands that Jaylen Brown is the key to their offensive productivity. So what does he do real quick? He gets Jaylen Brown 2 quick fouls. Now Jaylen Brown has to come out of the game. Now, he comes out of the game on the road because, you know, the coach don't have as much faith in him, and the referees on the road, he can get into quick foul trouble and be out of the game. Now that coach is thinking, I got to save him for the end of the game. Whereas at home, Jaylen Brown picks up 2 fouls, 3 fouls. Okay, we're going to let it ride. We got the crowd going with us. We got the officials going our way. We trust Jaylen a little bit more at home than we do out on the road. Well, LeBron James understands all of this from experience, playing against guys. So it's not so much about how many points he scores. It's strategically how he maneuvers through the lineup, moving people off the floor. And if you can take a player of Jaylen Brown's caliber off the floor early in the game by getting him 2 quick fouls, then guess what? Now you're playing against his backup, and it's totally screwed up the whole rotation.
Isiah, advice for Jaylen Brown, because, I mean, you're going to get fouls on the ball guarding somebody, but I think the ones he's getting the cheap one is when LeBron go up here, Jared, to the top of the key, and you're guarding. And he's out here in a full deny, and I think this is LeBron is doing and getting that foul. What's your advice for Jaylen Brown once he throws the basketball? Because I know he's big and strong. So he gives the basketball up. What do you want to see him do first?
Well, you got to back up now because this is what LeBron James understands, right? And this is what we all understand. There's an official right here on the baseline, right? And Smitty, what you just did to me, right? This is how he gets that foul, right? Denying, and you're looking right at the official, right? You're looking at the official, and the official now is going to call that foul. So there's one here, there's one there, and then there's one over in the slot. The players know, like LeBron James, where the officials are located at, right? When you can get away with a foul, when you cannot get away with a foul. Now, I guarantee you, right, if we down here, if Smitty makes his pass, and now this is a slot official, and that other official is on the baseline and somebody's up top, LeBron James now is going to go inside and try to make this official look. So you got to know where the official's at, making the calls, and strategically, he's doing all of that and he's seeing all that. So Jaylen Brown's got to find a way, when LeBron James doesn't have the basketball, to avoid the contact, stay out of his way, challenge his shots.
Wow, playing the opponent and the official.
Well, it's more than just scoring a bucket, you know?
Vet secrets here.
Oh, it is. I mean, I know I used to tell that ref, I say, watch him, he hit me first.
Yes.
So I try to hit
You talk to the refs?
No, just a little bit. I mean, I want to say, watch Isiah, he's hitting me. So I might give Isiah a little shove, and then we come down here when Isaiah's shoving back, and I'm looking at him saying, did you see it? And I'm like this, right? I mean, that's a whole psychology in the game, right? You can't allow the best players to play. Like LeBron James is playing historical minutes in the playoffs where he's never fouling out, so forth and so on. Most of your great players don't get a chance to play 46 minutes a night, 44 minutes a night. You got to get those guys in foul trouble and get them off the floor.
All right, Steph Curry couldn't come off the floor last night. We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. But more importantly, what were you guys just doing? What were you guys just doing over here?
What was that?
What were you guys just doing?
Hey, he was fouling me.
That's how you get going.
No, but you guys dancing. You guys dancing a little bit.